Video lights look white to your eye, but they're actually anything but. They're all over the place. Now we all know that fluorescent lights and compact fluorescents were a little on the greenish side, and now everything's switching over to LED, and everybody thinks LEDs are pure white like daylight. They're not. Unless you have an expensive color meter, I'm going to show you basically how you can tell what the color is of your lights, and also an easy way to test which ones are brighter than others. Now you can use a light meter. That's an easy way, but I'm going to show you an even easier way to tell how bright your lights are and what the color is. All you need is the camera, any camera that you can set to manual. What I've done here is I've assembled all kinds of lights, and I'm curious myself, like which ones are a little greenish, which ones are a little, yellowish, bluish, orangish. There's all kinds of lights, like $2,000 lights that I got from B&H, compared to home-built ones that I made myself with LEDs that I got from Amazon, really cheap. So let's see how these compare. You'd be surprised how some of these expensive lights are not that bright, and you can make your own pretty cheap. That's another video I made. You can see it right here. It's not just the lights, it's not just the color of the lights, but the diffusion material or the softbox that you put over it also changes the color of the lights and also how much light comes out of it. What I do is I set up the lights the way I'm going to use them in the actual shot, not just do a color temperature test of the bare bulb, but the finished diffusion and everything. And after I put the diffusion on, the softbox and everything, I set it up, put it to 100%, then I test it to see which ones are the brightest at 100% and which ones are closest to white. So if I have to gel them, I'll know what to do. So I'm going to show you now how to do it. Again, you use any camera. Now the trick is you set the camera as dark as possible. F22, put a neutral density filter on there if you want. But basically what you want to do is underexpose the picture as much as possible. So right now, as you can see, the picture is pretty normally exposed, but what you want to do is you don't want it perfect exposure, you want to make it really dark, so it's really not dark, super underexposed, and then you take the picture and then you can tell, especially now, don't look at it on your LCD screen because that's going to be deceiving. You take this picture and you put it on your computer, and then you can tell, oh, and by the way, it needs to be daylight balanced. Set your camera to daylight balance, underexpose it so you can barely see what's on there, so everything's super dark. Check on your computer, and then you can see easily which lights are the lightest, which ones are barely showing up, which ones are, are a little on the greenish side, the bluish side, when you're trying to go for especially daylight balance. That's an easy way to do it. It's that easy, is to just set your lights up side by side, underexpose the picture, and it'll tell you right away which ones are bright, which ones are dark, and which ones are way off from white, from daylight balance. I have included down below in the description a downloadable file of the picture that I took, and it's listing the lights that I have in this test. Many of them are popular lights that you probably already know. That's just a little tip for the day. In the next video, I'm going to show you what the brightest lights are of all. The brightest LED, especially battery-powered LED lights, because I like to use them outdoors as fill lights. That's the next one, and I will use a light meter on that. So stay tuned to Marcus Picks for easy tips for photography that anybody can do. Tell your friends about this channel. Lots of free giveaways.